Power Project family, we have a great episode for you guys today with Tiffany Leung, who is a world record powerlifter. She holds the squat record at 97 pounds of 314 pounds and a total of 804 at 97 pounds. And we also have Jeremy and Avilla, who has squatted 805 and deadlifted 893. They work with Jesse Burdick over at CSA Gym in Dublin, California. They do a lot of strength training with adults and kids. And in this episode, we're going to talk about how you can get stronger, how you can move better even as a strength athlete, and how you can help your kids get on fun too. Why am I holding this though, this power sandal? It's because it's back in stock. So if you want to check it out, head to powerproject.live and enjoy the episode.
But still, that's the reaction we're going for.
So you gave Tiff pina colada. What flavor you get, Jeremy?
I had grape.
Grape?
It's over there. Yeah. It's
Okay, I was about to be like, you gave me grape. I'm like, are you trying to tell me something? And you gave me an empty.
No, I put it on your desk. The grape one is on your desk.
Oh, okay.
That one that was there, that was mine from yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought
You drank
were...
the whole thing of that?
Are these on?
That's a question.
No, I haven't drank the whole thing of this. I haven't even tried the whole thing yet.
Let me go pull the one from my desk.
Yeah, go get it. Go get it.
He gave it to everybody. He's like, no, I haven't actually. I don't mess with that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. No, I would never take that shit.
Oh, yeah.
So I heard a really cool story that, Tiff, you were really excited to meet Jay Cutler. That was interesting. Have you been a bodybuilding fan for a long? You've been following bodybuilding for quite some time.
I've been following it for 0 days still.
She just learned about pump covers. So she's got that going. But yeah, we were at the airport and we had the good fortune to sit next to Jay Cutler.
You sat next to him on the plane?
No, not on the plane. We just actually, he had an open seat next to him and I just bombed for it while we're waiting to get on the plane.
Okay.
I got into his space and he was nice enough to let me stay there. And I was like, Jay Cutler, big fan. And then Tiff was like, hi, nice to meet you. And I was like, I asked her to take our picture. And she was just like looking at me like, why are you taking a picture of this random guy? And
Okay, that's
like,
fair.
It was embarrassing a little bit. But
Well, I didn't say it out loud, so I don't know.
Your body
I mean, I just
language,
wasn't like super excited to meet him. Maybe he was like,
You're like, oh wow, this guy's another fan of Jeremy. This is cool. he must have seen his deadlifts. That's great.
Yep.
yeah.
What's going on with this this diet? I hear you, like he's eating jelly beans in the middle of the night or something.
A lot of jelly beans.
Is
They
this
cost
like
us,
is
guys.
this some sort of like particular protocol to get the growth hormone and insulin in a particular way for the lifts and stuff like that, or what do we got going on here?
Well, beans historically have like represented growth,
Oh,
right?
beans.
Like Jack and the Beanstalk.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Okay.
grows really big, giants, things
Yeah.
like that. So I was just kind of going that direction.
That
Lots of
makes a lot
beans
of sense.
before bed.
There's a lot of fiber in beans.
Yeah, there's a lot. So
Especially those beans.
1,000 carbs a day.
I mean,
That's Jay Cutler status. He was doing that.
Well, I didn't know.
probably didn't know.
So I was like, wow, this is really cool. He can do this. And then
Yeah.
apparently there's other guys that can do this. So
yeah, I was pretty proud of it, but you know, Tiff was not as amused.
But you're doing this shit while
Not.
eating beans, though?
No, like jelly beans.
Oh,
You know,
okay,
jelly beans. Yeah, yeah.
I thought these were
Not
real
like beans. Oh my god, yeah.
well, I mean,
1,000 carbs of beans.
Oh, yeah, that'd be messy.
That's a rough road. Yeah.
I mean,
There's a lot of when the engine's burning that much fuel, you know, you got to let some
there's
out.
a lot of
So
things
Tiff,
that come out.
it's just like a lot of
That does taste grapey. Yeah, that
Do
is.
you want to try pina colada?
I'll try a little bit of pina colada.
I got some grape here too.
Oh, mine's all gone.
Wow, that's way more than I drink.
Is it also the color
You just
purple?
smashed it?
I did the half. I
okay.
saved the half for later.
I had like a
Called a
lick.
double shot. You're supposed
I had
to
like a lick.
take like half.
And
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It has these like alkaloids
waterfalled
on it, so
it.
it burns your tongue.
That does taste like pina colada.
See?
Oh, here's your cat.
maybe I just don't like pina coladas, guys.
Might just be-
Learn
That
something
could be
new.
the case.
Learn
It's
something
purple.
new.
Y'all made it purple. Good for you.
Yeah, we colored it and everything. So where did you guys come from? You just came from a big competition or a trade show or something? Like where was Jay Cutler at?
He was heading to the Arnold Sports Festival.
Why would he do that? I don't know.
He's heading to the Arnold, and Tiff was competing there, the powerlifting competition. He actually wished her good luck. He was really nice. He was super nice.
I was like, cool,
he
thank
asked
you,
about
sir.
it too. Yeah. And,
Why are you laughing so much?
Because I had no clue who he was. I really had no clue. I was like, wow, that's so nice. This guy just said, good luck.
This guy. We forget it's niche. Bodybuilding's niche.
It is.
Even within power, like, you know?
You have
I'm
no
this
excuse.
close. I'm this close to it, and I didn't even.
You know what? It's funny though. Like someone who's big in powerlifting, if they walk into a room of weightlifters, a lot of times the weightlifters won't know who that person is, and vice versa. If someone, I mean, there's a couple people that stand out. Like most people know who like Dmitry Klokov is and stuff, but you know, a famous Olympic lifter can walk into a room full of powerlifters and no one's going to know who he is for the most part.
Very true.
They're very, very different sports. But you went out there and did what, powerlifting meet?
I did powerlifting. Yep.
And you've been doing some weightlifting too?
I have. I did last year. I did weightlifting and powerlifting
at the Arnold
last year. Yeah, that was fun.
What'd you end up getting lift wise for your powerlifting meet?
I hit 297 on the squat, and then I benched I think like 160, and then I deadlifted 358, which is a PR.
At a body weight of,
I think it was 103.
That's crazy shit.
Yeah, it was fun.
okay, wait, real quick. Who's superior? I mean, we need to know. Powerlifters or Olympic
I thought
lifters?
you were going to ask me or him. I was going to say me. I was already ready to say me, but
Yeah, powerlifters or Olympic lifters, because you need to make an enemy of one of them right now. Which one?
who
Which
is
one's
superior?
better? What's the better athlete?
The better athlete? Oh, weightlifting,
Yeah,
for sure.
come on.
Weightlifting, for sure. They got to move. Like, you have to move.
Being
So
able
you're
to
saying
tie your
powerlifters can't
shoe
move?
doesn't have anything to do with athletics though.
I mean, but you gotta jump sometimes. You gotta get underneath the bar.
That's true. That's true.
The more athletic you are, the worse you are at powerlifting. You want to go the other way. You want it to like regress.
Yeah.
Yeah, Louis Simmons said powerlifting is a sport for the rest of us, meaning like the leftovers, you know?
That's what I tell the kids that come in.
Yeah,
They're
the
like, I
people
want
that
to
couldn't
do.
figure out anything else. People had two left feet, you know?
Oh, Lord.
Yeah,
But you played soccer when you were young, right?
I did play soccer.
And that was some of the development. And Nsima has a theory about soccer, how it's led to the development of some monsters around here.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Did you play soccer?
I played till I was 8. And,
Okay. See, he played soccer for a little while.
You know, I was in
That's
there.
where it started.
I was in there a little bit, a couple of
Yeah,
years.
Stan Efferding. You mentioned Steffi Cohen, right?
Yeah.
Like, seems like there's
Dana Lynn Bailey,
Yeah, right?
Chris Bumstead.
Yeah, it seems like the list. Like, we need to get a list.
Yeah.
That's what we need to get going.
Yeah.
Who does your programming? Who helps you? Does Jeremy help you, or is it more like Jesse, or what do you guys do?
Jesse and Joe Ada. And then, and then Kenny's been helping me with my diet. I've worked with Stan with my diet. So
How long have you worked with Stan?
I worked with Stan like 5 years ago. And I kind of followed the vertical diet for a while. And then with Kenny, like I kind of same idea, but just eating a lot more, having a lot more protein. But
Kenny Williams, and he's giving you like high and low carb days and that kind of stuff, right?
I've never really done that. So it's been kind of cool. I've been eating way more food than I ever have. And I'm at like a lighter body weight than I ever have. So
What's your calories for someone that weighs as much?
I've been at like about 2,000.
Oh, shit.
Nice.
Yeah.
How much were you eating before?
With Stan, because like when we first started, I was like getting ready to cut for meat. So we got up to like 1,500. And that was like kind of where I was staying for a while. And then once I started working with Kenny, I think we started working together like November. That's when I started bumping it up. And I just like, my weight was like going down. I was like, I don't understand, but this is great. So it's been cool to eat a lot more food.
What's it like living with this guy and having him like just have his crazy
Eat all my food?
Yeah, and have a crazy metabolism? Like, are you sometimes frustrated, or you just don't pay attention?
Oh, I'm definitely more frustrated because sometimes
He's like, I don't know what happened. I lost 11 pounds, and he's all shredded.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. I gained 12 pounds.
Yeah.
Like, he
and
can
then he
kinda do
gains
whatever
like
he
20
wants,
pounds, and you're like, oh, okay.
Still
I
shredded.
don't know what you did. But yeah, some days he eats a lot of food at home, and I'm like, oh, I have no food. And then some days I cook a lot of food, and there's a lot of food left. So I never really know what I'm going to walk into.
You're just all carbs over here,
It's a lot of carbs.
right?
A lot of carbs. Yeah, I'd say so. Like we do like a lot of rice and potatoes and jelly beans, as we talked about earlier. You know, and orange
Didn't you choose
juice.
something better than jelly beans, though? Like there's-
Swedish food.
You did that on purpose.
No, but I mean, that's very
you
true.
like Swedish fish.
Way better than jelly beans.
We were in the. I mean, not better.
Yeah,
but-
fish has
I would
omega
say-
3s, right?
Well, if you're just trying to be
healthy
Neither of
fats.
those are good candy.
That's
Let
true.
me guess, you like candy corn too?
No.
I like candy corn.
Okay.
I like candy corn.
Come on.
He offended him.
Both of you guys.
I
Get why you're together.
Candy corn.
Y'all just
Is
eat
that
good.
still being made? Or are they just
Yeah.
using the same stuff? What
about
I've
Peeps?
always had.
I love Peeps.
fucker Peeps.
Yeah, Peeps are disgusting.
She used to.
The
No.
marshmallow, the little
You know?
chickens, Peeps.
I don't know what.
No,
Bring
what?
up some fucking Peeps.
Oh, it's
Peeps are
Easter. You're gonna.
fucking
I'm gonna bring you
terrible.
some Peeps.
No,
But
they're
you know
not
what
good.
you do? You have to open the pack, let them get stale, and then you eat them.
You said you let these get stale and then
Yeah,
you eat them.
'cause
Do
then
you
they're-
enjoy this?
That's
by
how
the way?
you know it's good.
Do you
When
think
you have to
they're
let it go
They're
bad.
good.
Put them in your air fryer.
Okay, so she has this
7
bad
minutes.
taste.
No, she likes room temperature Peeps. You know, she likes to let them like just marinate a little bit,
What
like
the-
you know,
They get a little
bag open.
crunchy.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
Yeah.
wild. It's weird.
crunchy.
I would just
Weird.
not Sour Patch Kids, not gummy worms. You choose jelly beans.
Well, it's like, I mean, I like all those things, but when it comes to like, if you're just trying to like crush as many carbs as quickly as you can, and also don't you get bored? So when you're eating a lot of them, you get bored of the same flavor over and over. But if you have a 40 flavor jelly beans and you're eating 4 to 5 at a time, the amounts of combinations are endless. It's a
Party in your
different,
mouth.
it's a different party every time you put a handful in your mouth.
So
every single time.
You've done a lot of math and research on this.
Actually, I looked it up on Reddit. I think for the I think like.
He did.
Yeah, I think for the 30 flavor packet, it's like 880 different combinations if you just do 4 at a time.
So do you take
No,
4?
no.
I do like
no.
4 to 6. No, I do like 4 to 6. Like to stay in that range just to ensure that I have like a different experience each time I have it.
4 to 6, 4
Yeah.
to 6. He's just thinking that every time he reaches his hand in there.
So variety helps you eat more. They
But
say.
there's some flavors you pick out, right?
What's that? Yeah, well, I let Tiff pick out all the flavors that she likes, and I also have her pick out the ones I don't like. So she kind of filters them to like filtered jelly beans. So like I'm only getting the most like the best experience possible. All the bombs, like the black licorice, the butter. That butter. Okay, butter popcorn's good on its own,
Why do they
but
put
not
that in
good.
some-
But it's not good with a bunch of other jelly beans, right?
Wait, so butter jelly bean is good on its own, you're saying?
Butter popcorn's good on its own, but if you have like butter popcorn and you have like grape with it, that's not good. That's not.
Who
That's never
decided
good.
to put these together?
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Like a 7-year-old or something?
Something. I'm not sure how. I'm not sure how they pick the
You ever
flavors.
see like a 7-year-old kid put together like a frozen yogurt thing? Like they put everything on
the
there.
worst.
They got like chocolate syrup and gummy worms. It's like no, you're ruining it. You're messing everything up.
Yo, what's that candy that they have like experimental flavors? Like they have like fart and like.
That's
Yeah,
jelly
jelly
beans.
beans.
That's
They're bean boozled.
okay. Bean. There we go. Yeah, yeah.
Fart flavor.
I was like, this
We've
makes
done
sense.
this at the gym. We made
Yeah,
a few of the
right.
kids do it with us, and I got like dirty Band-Aid. It was disgusting.
Yeah, there's bloody
It was
Band-Aid.
disgusting.
There's boogers. There's a few. I just remember bloody Band-Aid and
That
boogers.
was-
Yeah, there's like
disgusting.
throw up also.
I can only imagine how that happened. You know, someone's like, that tastes like a bloody Band-Aid. And someone's like, you know what? We should just lean into this. Like, let's sell these.
It was
It'll be
probably a
bloody-
7-year-old kid.
Yeah. You guys actually trained some kids too, right?
Yeah, lot of
lot of
kids.
kids.
Lot of
How's that
kids.
going?
It's good.
Training for a bunch of different sports and things like that, or
I do mostly like strength training or like just powerlifting. But Jeremy does football and other things.
how old?
Shoot.
I-
Youngest. What's your youngest?
My youngest is like 7.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. Probably
Yeah.
7 or 8. Yeah, 7 or 8. It's probably 2. Brody's like 8. Brody's 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like 7 or 8 around there.
I think a lot of people think that's too young to like lift, but you guys are showing them how to lift.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we start with like no weights, but then like they see everybody else at the gym and
Right.
they have their form is good. That's when I like let them do more weight or do weights. But if they don't want to do it, I don't push it on them. So it's kind of what they want to do, half of it. Because if they're not having fun, it's not very fun to have kids that don't want to do something. So yeah,
What do you show them that they usually like typically?
they like a lot of stuff with the medicine balls, but they do like kettlebell deadlifts. Like most of the kids like really like that. They like squatting. They like jumping on a lot of things and sleds. They like to pull a
So you
sled.
got to be creative, kind of like you got to.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to keep them active. I mean, I imagine like they get done with a movement and they're like, "What's next? What's next? What's next?"
Yes.
Because they don't understand. Like, well, there's usually like a rest interval, and they don't get it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Usually the rest is like, go run to your dad and back. Just go pretend like you're getting water because I need a break.
Right.
But yeah.
Do you know what your testosterone levels are at? How about your estrogen? How about your prolactin? How about your cholesterol? If the answer is, I don't know what they're at, well, we've been talking about blood work for a long time now. That's why we partnered with Merrick Health, a company owned by Derek for More Plates, More Dates. Now, with Merrick, you can get yourself something called the Power Project Panel, which will give you 26 different labs that will help you understand what's going on underneath the hood. After that, you'll be able to be partnered with one of their patient care coordinators, which will give you interventions that range from lifestyle, supplements, to potential hormonal health treatments that can help move you in the right direction. But it all starts with knowing on what's going on down here. So get your blood work done. And Andrew, how can they get it?
Yes, we have two options for you guys. Head over to merrickhealth.com/powerproject. That's MAREK health.com/powerproject. There you guys will see the Power Project panel that Nsima was just talking about. And at checkout, enter promo code PowerProject to save $101 off of that panel. Now, if you want to custom select your own panel, you guys can use promo code PowerProject10 to save 10% off all labs. Again, that's at merrickhealth.com/powerproject. Links to them down in the description as well as the podcast show notes.
Do you notice that this helps like certain kids pull away from others, especially when it comes to their sport? Like, do you guys get reports back from parents and stuff?
Yeah. So like with some of the kids that work with, I'll hear back. So like I guess we're talking about Brody. Like one of the kids that we have, he has like some like hip and spine things that are going on.
Really?
So like his like physical therapist will actually give us some exercises to focus on. And one of them was like farmer's carries, and they have had like a lot of like positive, like his like hips and back are a little straighter, like when they did like a 6-month checkup. So cool. Yeah, like so it's like cool to hear good things back like that. And then also with like the sport and stuff like that, we for the football team we track everybody's weight and like we monitor their like, you know, we like got their tested their bench, squat, deadlift, like shuttle times and all that stuff in the beginning of like this year. And then, you know, we'll hear back and if they've improved and stuff, which we just retested their bench and most people improved like in 8-week time. So get like some of that feedback.
The football team, is it like older kids or like what's the age that you're usually working with?
Freshman to senior. So I do like work with like the freshmen in the morning. It's like only like 14 or 15, it's a little bit less kids. Cool. And then junior varsity and varsity is later in the day. It's like from like 30 to like 45 kids, like around there. So it's a bunch. But yeah, it's fun though. It's a lot of fun. Like you get like an hour to hour and a half. So you gotta like really like be like really efficient with your time and kind of, you know, you don't get to see them so much. So yeah.
And is that a program with like one team or is it like anybody from different schools in the area?
That's just for one team. But at CSA, with like Jesse, like with the stuff we do there, we get people and stuff from all different sports and teams and things like that. So yeah, we get like, he hits a lot of baseball players and I think we got like a wrestler. We just like got a new wrestler from De La Salle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like just a lot of the high schools that are in the area, they kind of just like pop in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably
a lot of baseball though.
Probably fun for you to teach some of these kids strength training stuff, but you've done a really good job of keeping a lot of your athleticism, your mobility, the stuff that we see sometimes that you do on your Instagram, the jumps and shit that you do, and sometimes you're doing stuff on the rings. I mean, you've kept a really good capacity, so I'd imagine that this is something you're probably sharing with these young people is, you know, hey, like, let's make sure you have access to this, which probably a bunch of them do, but let's make sure that you keep it and maintain it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I love being able to like, you know, to run with them when I want to, or, you know, to like hop in and like be able to participate a little bit here and there. So I think like that, especially with like kids, I think that helps sometimes with like adherence when they see that you're still training and things like that.
Yeah, they see you do weird shit like this sometimes. They're like, Coach, what are the hell are you doing?
That's great.
What's happening with your back there?
That requires so much power though. Like great form, but like how heavy was that medicine ball?
Oh, it's only like 10 pounds.
Well, for those of you that are listening, he did a muscle up with a 10-pound medicine ball between his legs.
Have they seen you, you know, have any of these guys seen you in competition? Because it's been a little while since I think you competed, so maybe they haven't had an opportunity to see the, like, you know, high 800-pound deadlifts and stuff like that.
You know, it's funny, you know, not too much. They'll like ask sometimes, like, hey, like, how much, like, can you deadlift? And I'll like tell them, like, wow, that's really great. And then, you know, we'll just move on. Right. Like, you know, if I told them 700 pounds, they'd probably get the exact same reaction. Yeah. And to be honest, I kind of like that. It's kind of nice. Like, wow, you're really strong. Cool. Right. Yeah. like, you know, beyond that, it's like, you know, it's like whatever. But like,
not super relatable to them, probably.
Yeah, but I think they just like, I mean, because a lot of them, you know, not all of them are like super stoked to be in the gym yet, you know. But like, I think some of them like kind of like hear that and like appreciate it a little bit. But some of them are just like, yeah, that's cool, you know. Yeah.
What got you guys both into like, how long have you been working with younger kids? Because like that is an undertaking in and of itself.
I actually, my first job was I coached little kickers. So it was just like, I think it was like 18 months was like the youngest, and then up to like 5-year-olds, and it was like learning how to play soccer.
Wow.
So that was like my first job. So and then after that, I worked at like a gym, but I worked in the childcare. So then I had to take care of the kids. And so I think that kind of helped me like be able to like talk to the kids and stuff. So I think, yeah. And then I would say probably like 2 or 3 years into personal training, like I started training kids of like my clients. So yeah, it kind of went.
Do you try to show kids like Olympic lifting stuff, or is that like maybe they're just not at that stage, some of these younger kids?
I haven't. And then like, I just don't think that I don't think I could teach them as well as like some other people that have done it longer. So like for me, like I would just kind of stick with what I know like really well. And if that's something that they want to do, I would be like, hey, like go to Joe and Max. Like
Right.
they know how to do it really well. And I don't have like a problem trying to like refer people out to people that have better understanding of like their sport, because most of the kids don't even know what Olympic lifting is. So it's like, I'm not going to try to teach them that. But I mean, if I could see like some potential in their like mobility and movement and stuff, I'd probably be like, hey, like go try that out if you want. But I don't think I would feel confident enough at this point right now to teach kids how to do it.
Are you having some kids do like box squats and bench press and deadlifts and variations of that?
Yeah. So actually me and Jared train Sierra. She's 13, but I've been training her since she was like 8, I think.
Shit.
But she competes in powerlifting, and we do all the variations we do ourselves with her. And then I'm training one of our training partners, Sarah, her kids, and he's box squatting because he's like 6'4" and a giant. But yeah, so he's doing box squats, deadlifts. I think we do deadlifts with bands, off blocks and stuff. So yeah.
What do you guys think the advantages of like a box squat?
Well, I think one thing is like you can control the height. For some of them, they just kind of fall out at a certain point when they're learning how to squat. So just kind of get them used to just feeling the weight on their back and I don't know, the box squats also, I think it's a little easier on like the knees and stuff for some people. Some like the older clients I have, like really the box squat's really helpful, or like a box squat, like a Hatfield or something, just a little bit more assistance.
Oh yeah, where you're holding on to something.
Yeah, that one's really nice for some folks to kind of go with. But yeah, it's really helpful having all the variations. I swear, you know, like getting to like work with Jesse so long and like learn all these variations to just like training, you know, conjugate style for so long. It really helps. You can find a way to get someone to move with all the variations. You can find a range of motion in which they can do it safely, and then I don't know, just try to like build the range of motion. Just find a place where they can move it safely, and like it builds confidence for them. They're like, heck yeah. Even if you did like a 8-inch like it's like, you know, just like almost like a lockout for some people. They're like, all right, cool, got some weight in my hands, and maybe in a few weeks click it down a little bit. But just I don't know, pretty like box squats and blocks have been really helpful for that stuff, right?
Yeah, I feel like the general population, there's so many different issues or aches and pains or stuff that they've been through that it's like, yeah, they can't squat all the way down, but like maybe eventually, but that's also not their goal. Like they just want to feel like they can move again and get strong. And there's so many ways to get strong besides like squatting to depth, you know? So I think that's been really valuable with training.
I think that's a great point, that there's so many other ways to get strong. It doesn't have to be an ass to grass squat necessarily.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like a lot of people get stuck in like, this is the only way to get strong. And I'm like, there's so many different ways. Like, and it doesn't have to be like, you could get mentally strong too. It's like a lot of my clients are strong, but like they can't get it together up here. So it's like, if they can get it together up here, like everything else just starts to kind of move. So trying to make progress no matter what it is. So
yeah. What do you guys think? Because like, you know, I've done a few things with kids before, and sometimes they're just hard to communicate with. Like sometimes, I don't know, do you find that there's certain ways to be able to better effectively communicate with kids and get them to do the things you need them to do?
Lots of yelling.
I feel like
just scream at them. And
Jeremy's really good at it, because I get to a point where I'm just like, I can't do this anymore. Like
you just walk away from
and I just like, there's some days where I'm just like, I don't even know what to do. Like, I'm just gonna just stare at them till they want to do something. But he's so much better at it. He's so good with kids. I'm just like, I can't. Maybe you want to take them from me now because I don't want them. But
Jeremy,
your secrets.
So I've been working at this elementary school for like actually I got the job with Jesse's wife, Katie,
Right.
about 4 or 5 years ago. It's like a school for like neurodiverse kids. It's like got about 100 kids, like 4th to 8th grade. So we get like anywhere from like 15 to like 25 kids and like the gym to go at once. And I get a couple like 2-3 like assistants, like teachers like help me. But even with like that, it can be like, really challenging. But I think what I've learned, like there's this lady there, the principal there, her name's Miss Laney, but she's just so good with kids. She's got like she's just awesome at it. Yeah. But one thing that she like really had me do is just like having like structure, like some type of same structure, like line them up the same way, tell them what's the start and the finish, like and keep that kind of the same for them. And they work really well within that structure because it's going to be chaos, like no matter what. And so you just want to try to control it a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's been like really helpful. So just like having like, just like creating like a very like simple structure in the beginning. Like for example, we line up in these 4 lines every time we come in. We start with like hop on 1 foot, and then you use those lines like now we're gonna hop on 1 foot left, or just kind of like progress their stuff out little by little. Yeah. And then like Tiff was saying, you have to give them something that they like. So what I do, at the school that I'm at, they love dodgeball. If they can play, if they can play dodgeball every minute of every single day, they go. I got this kid Fritz comes up to me every day. He comes up serious. He's like, "Are we gonna play dodgeball today?" I'm like, "We play dodgeball every day, bro. Like, chill." Because they didn't want to. When I first got there, they didn't like have
smashing people.
Dude,
right?
he's like,
you gotta tell him like, hey, you gotta peel it back a little
bit. We gotta pull it back. We've had to install some new rules because some of the kids.
Is it the classic red balls too?
No. See, listen, so they didn't have dodgeball before I was there because of that reason. Look, because we can't be having the kids getting knocked to the ground and stuff and just like getting melted. Yeah, melted.
Looking back at that shit, dodgeball was a pretty dangerous game because you're just trying to pelt kids' heads and shit as a kid.
Well, here's the thing: some kids are all developing at different times. Some kids got an AK, some kid got a slingshot, and it's just not a fair fight. And then you add in a red ball into there, and you're really just sending them to the slaughter. So like, you gotta be, we gotta have some rules, and like, you gotta figure some things out.
There's always like a kid that like doesn't even know dodgeball's going on. He's like literally not paying attention. And he gets his like glasses knocked off his head. You're like, oh,
just knock my headphones off.
But dude, when I first got there, I was trying to we didn't have dodgeball, but the kids always wanted dodgeball. So I looked up like what's the best, softest dodgeball, but it's still got some zing on it, right?
Okay.
Gotta get some zing on it. So like rhino skin.
Back
that's
to
what
Reddit
I thought.
again,
It's
right?
I think it's got like rhino something. I forget. I'm probably messing up the name. But they have the best dodgeball. So I've got like a bunch of those. So we started playing that. And like basically I tell them this: you get through the workout, we'll play dodgeball. Yeah. The longer the workout takes, the less dodgeball you got. And so the kids are like, oh, go, come on, do dodgeball. So like I use the carrot, just like, and so like they know like, all right, we got a bunch of different variations of the game, and and sometimes we'll play different stuff, but they know if they do the workout, we're gonna have the game at the end. Yeah. So that like seems to help a lot. And like I don't try to like switch things. Like whenever I like have to add a new lines or new thing, it kind of messes them up a little bit. I just expect it though, and you just gotta give it a little bit of time, I think.
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, those are the ones right there. Yeah.
Concussion friendly.
Yeah. Hey, I had this is why you need it though. Oh my God. We're doing this game, like we're like learning how to play with the balls. Yeah. And the game is this. You say someone's name and then you throw them the ball. So if I had the ball, I would go, Nsima. Throw and catch. Yeah. Dude, my guy Harrison goes, Mark. Wow. The kid has glasses. It's the kid that doesn't like to get hit in the fucking face, dude. Xavier. And he's just, because you gotta remember, the teacher doesn't want dodgeball. She doesn't want dodgeball because of the same reason. I'm like, no. But hey, like just like the commercial, wiped it off, not a mark. I mean, we could have told the teacher that nothing happened. She could have believed us. There's not a mark in his face.
Wow.
But he was okay. Wow. He patted it off. But yeah, really good product right there.
Yeah. Remember, those classic dodgeballs would rip your face apart.
Oh, dude, you get tore up.
Yeah. I can still hear the sound when they connect. It's like that deep, like body shot sound, but it's to the face.
Now you're all in big trouble. Oh yeah, no.
I love what you said about like the patterns of like lining them up and stuff like that. I mean, there's a lot of kids that will. There's always a couple kids that are going to want to do the opposite of sometimes of what a teacher says. But I think your mentorship probably is a little different because you're fun and you have a you have a childish personality where you are always excited, you always have a smile. So that probably helps the kids to kind of relate to you a little bit better. But that's really smart to have them do similar things every time because they're like, oh yeah, now it's time to line up. And coach is cool, so I'm gonna fucking get in my spot. I'm gonna get behind so and so. Yeah, so it probably helps them line up each time.
Yeah, like Jesse kind of showed me that too. Like when we would work at the high school, we were working at this high school and he like his baseball players, like he was so efficient with his time because it'd be like, all right, get outside in your lines to do the whatever kind of like footwork drills he had, and then all right, get inside. We have upper body this today, and they would just know like where to kind of be in general, and then from there he could be like, all right, you're gonna do this, and remember we did this last week. All right, this, but just like very efficient with this time because a lot of these places like got 30 kids in a 45-minute class and like you want to get a workout and a game in and hopefully like some type of like stretch maybe, and it's just like the time gets eaten away if you have to like, hey Billy get down, come on, we're over here today, we're over here, and if you like just do that every time you have to change something, it's like, and class is over.
Yeah Jesse's like a mastermind with that stuff because he would be at the gym for like 12 hours training people, and he's every once in a while got to make a phone call or he's got to eat, he's got to transition to the next person coming in, he just like points to stuff, and then people go outside and drag the sled, and after a while people just know what to do, otherwise he starts to kind of yell at you.
Yeah, that's what I love.
Dad voice.
Yep, the dad voice, dad mad. Yeah. That's what like I think like you probably learned like the Jesse's so good with his like his clients and his kids is like he teaches them like he doesn't have to be over their shoulder for them to be effective. Like he like really sets a good structure in the beginning. Like he's on your like teaching you the warm up, teaching you kind of like the pace, teaching you like what like different days or like if it's at the day before a game, you're gonna train like that. Just like little stuff he like teaches them to like be good on their own, like, which I think is really helpful because some I think athletes like literally they're just used to like, hey, now do 10 reps here, now do this, and he's like his athletes can like he can give them the workout and they can kind of know what to do like from week to week. But he has like he has when he puts in new stuff, he obviously has to whatever, but like they're really good at kind of like getting into their groups and getting moving.
Do you think kids have changed you guys at all? Like being around them and working with them for so many years. If you look at yourself before you worked with kids and potentially after, is there any change in your demeanor and who you are, or not really?
I think working with like Sierra and like some of the kids that like now, I feel like I'm not as hard on myself when I have a bad day because I can see like. And my therapist was also like, you should talk to yourself how you would like talk to Sierra if like you're having a bad day. Like you wouldn't tell her, like you wouldn't say all these things to her. So like don't say it to yourself. And so I think that's helped me a lot with like my lifting actually. Because like, I've been lifting for 10 years. Like there's bad days. There's so many bad days. And so if I can like not beat myself up about it as much, like I just come back a lot better the next time I train. So I think that's what's like working with the kids have helped me like, okay, like I don't have to be so hard on myself all the time. So, yeah.
How about you?
So probably like made me be a little bit more, compassionate to myself, and like maybe it's like more understanding of some of like like the older, like when I work with like the younger kids at the elementary school, like you can see how like some kids have like a much further way to go than others. So like you can then and you meet like these people who are like in their 20s or 30s and like they've never done any type of exercise and things like that, and you like kind of like see from these kids like really like maybe like have like compassion for some of the people, like because you meet people that like they're 30 and they've never exercised and now they're in a world of trouble, like their back's hurt or like something's hurt and they're trying to learn it all. But like you see with like some kids, like they just don't have like a lot of like support or a place to learn about it and stuff. So I guess just kind of a little bit more like understanding of like how people get there. I guess I was like, oh, I could see that. Like this kid hates, like, because there's some kids that refuse to do the class, right?
Yeah.
They won't do it. Like they're just like, or like some days you might be able to get them a little bit, but yeah, because he's always like wondering.
You kind of let them do their thing a little bit?
I always check in with them. I go, there's this kid, Henry. He like sits in the corner mostly. I'm like, hey, Henry, like, you want to get in today? He's like, no, not today. I'm like, all right, well, hey, if you want to, like, come in. And like some of them, after a while, it's like a wave. Like they'll eventually like come over.
Yeah.
And that's like something that like John, there's one of my training partners has been working with like kids for like years and years and years, but he helps me a lot. But he was telling me, he's like, remember, you have all year. You can like work on them like a wave. Like you don't got to get them in one day. Like just like check in with them, let them know you see them. And
who knows what that kid has going on for the day.
Dude, yeah. I mean, you just never know like what's going on in people's lives. But that's like that's like what it showed me is like each person has a story, I guess. Like as to, you know, why they found lifting or like why they hadn't found it yet or anything like that. And like when you see like, you know, the kid versions, like, you know, like the maybe the beginnings of that, it really like helps you like see like a clear story of like how someone can get there. So I think it makes you have a little bit more compassion for those folks, or rather than being like, how the fuck did you never step foot into a gym? Like, what the heck? Like, they might have just had a horrible experience for one reason or another, or just off-put about it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. It's awesome what you guys are doing, because I mean, I know that I've never forgotten any of the coaches who have had a good impact on me from when I was a kid. I remember all their names. I remember specific things, and it had a big impact on like my trajectory. And both of you guys are doing that for probably hundreds of kids. At some point, it's going to be hundreds of kids if it's not already.
Well, and the impact they're going to have, those kids will have kids. Like, how cool is that? You know, and they're going to remember certain things, and the good things that you guys taught them, the disciplines that you taught them, they're going to actually use in their household. Like, it's nuts.
Yeah.
And you start to think about it that way. You're like, holy fuck, this is a big responsibility, but it sounds like you guys are doing a great job with it.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun.
Yeah, it's
for the most part.
Yeah, it can be a lot of fun. It can be like, you know, a lot of work. But like you're saying, like, it's really cool being at the high school with all the kids and being able to like, I don't know, be the coach that you wanted, or like be the person you wanted like in high school. And like, you know, I think sometimes high school lifting gets like a bad rap. You see just like all the, you know, the craziness, and it's cool to be in a spot where like, you know, I can try to make it different. You know, I can try to, you know, like teach them a good, you know, not that there's like, listen, when you have 50 kids going, there's not everything's gonna look great right away, right? But it's cool being able to like, I like feel honored to have that opportunity to like get to like work with like kids and stuff like that in that way. Yeah. So I definitely didn't think I'd be like spending most of my times at schools, you know, even you know, like at like elementary school and high school, like working with all these kids. I was like, man, I'll be working with all these power lifters and probably like super crazy athlete. But it's like, you know, I've actually really fell into and really enjoyed working with like the kids and stuff, which is like the last few years is like slowly shifted like 80% of like my clients are kids now.
You got something over there, Andrew?
Yeah, no, I have a teenage daughter, and it's been kind of a struggle to get her to start like exercising, right? Like whether it be like gym equipment type stuff, or like, hey, let's just go for a walk. It's always like, brr. Like it's just, you know, it's just always it's more than a chore. It's almost like she's in trouble, right? Yeah. I've tried making things fun. I've tried like so many different things. She's just not into it. So I don't know if you guys have worked with like any teenagers that have needed motivation, and if so, like how did you guys do it, or how, you know, do you recommend somebody go about doing that?
I mean, first of all, I think it's because you're her dad.
Yeah.
That is like that's the hardest thing. Like, especially at that age, like they don't want anything.
I know.
Like, you know, whatever you're doing is not cool to them.
Dude, everything is not cool.
Yeah. But I mean, like Sarah's son is 13, and like like I've trained him on and off for like 3 or 4 years, maybe more. But like he's never really like showed any interest in anything. Like it's usually been like, okay, like it took us an hour to like get through a warm up of like 3 exercises.
And what did Sarah deadlift? She deadlifted like 639 or something.
Yeah, and like she's all into the gym. And I don't know, he came into the gym. It might be an environment thing too, because he came into CSA like just a month ago, and he's like, I want to do this every day, Mom. Can you take me to the gym? And we're like, okay, like cool. And so he's doing the mock meet that we're having next month, like, and he's super into it. But I think some of it's like an environment thing, and like just finding something that they like, because he did track. He's done every sport, and he just like, it's like, I don't care. Like, I don't want to do it. But so it could be just, I don't know, different environments, or finding someone else to be like, oh, like, let's try this, and not dad. Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I've like, we did like I think it was like every Tuesday night, like we'd go to a CrossFit box, but it was like very like simple stuff. It was just like to get her to like, here, come hold the barbell. Let's see what this is like. And I was walking my son around, and then all of a sudden I look back and she just has tears coming down her face. I'm like, oh my God, this is not working at all. So.
And sometimes it might be just like finding the right person for them to work with. Like, I mean, yeah, that could also be, it could have been like a little intimidating because there's so many people at the CrossFit box. Maybe finding like a one-on-one to see if like they can kind of work with her, and then get her to feel confident to like do the class, or
Teenage kids are tough to figure out, and they like, from what I have observed, they walk like they don't even move like their shoulders, like they kind of slump. They kind of slump, and they're barely. I think it's like nothing. Like I don't want to fucking stand out at all, so I'm just gonna shuffle my feet and wear a baggy hoodie. And I'm just gonna kind of be like this. You're like, fuck, man. But none of them realize it because they're all, you know, just like the powerlifting waddle. We're all amongst each other, so we got the powerlifting waddle.
No, Mark, you don't understand. I'm unique.
right.
It's like they all look the same.
Yeah, Quinn is like, she's kind of out of that phase, you know. She's doing volleyball and stuff, so she's, you know, starting to move a little bit better. But yeah, but for a little while, it's kind of just like, and I'm like, I want to say something, but I'm the worst person to say something, so I ain't saying nothing. I ain't saying shit.
Yeah, yeah, it's tough because like, I don't. I know for sure the direct, like, hey, you're not gonna get this or that unless you do this is absolutely not gonna work. I mean, I've seen it not work, and I know for sure it's not gonna work. But like I said, I'm experimenting with, like, you want to go for a walk? No. Do you want to go walk to Dutch Bros? Yes. All right, I'll take it. Yeah. Even if like if we're looking at like energy expenditure, calories in, calories out is like negative because, or I guess positive, because like whatever drink she gets is gonna have sugar. I don't care. I'm like, she's getting sunlight, she's getting steps in. All right, cool. Now we got something. So little things like that, like I do find small wins here and there. But like, just like the whole like, hey, let's just not think everything is lame for like at least 10 minutes.
Lame, dude.
Good luck.
Dude, it's not cool, man.
Yeah, putting in efforts is for, you know, lames. I know, but like, it's weird, man. She's 14, and I don't want her to turn into Jello. Is what I like will say, because I'm like, you know, you're just gonna sit on the couch, like you're just gonna turn into Jello.
You remember yourself when you were 14?
Oh yeah, no. I was
curious,
so bad. Yeah, no, I was worse than her.
And look how you turned out.
Yeah, but I don't want her to wait 27 years to figure it out.
What do you guys think about maybe a different approach? Maybe looking at it more like opportunities to spend time with her rather than, you know, so maybe you can like halfway trick her and say, let's go on a car ride. You know, sometimes kids are annoying because they're like, to where? You know, like they know you're up to something, but I don't know, if you can find ways to like pick her up from something where maybe you don't normally pick her up, and just a 10-minute car ride, I think makes a big difference. If you don't talk about anything or nothing happens, in my experience, it's been really helpful. Kind of just breaks the ice. Like it's almost like they have like a clock punching you in and punching you out. Like if you're not like right there all the time, they don't like that.
This is so funny to me because like American compassionate parenting is so different from fucking third world parenting. Like my mom told me to go somewhere, be like, yes. Like,
I don't get my ass beat.
There's no like, oh, mom. It's like, if I don't move, you get a pat. I'm not saying that's a good thing. And my mom's lovely. My mom's great.
Yeah, I just got the silent treatment. She just like wouldn't talk to me if I didn't do something. I'm like, okay, can you? Okay, I'll do it so you can talk to me again, right? Like,
trauma.
Like, okay, yeah. But I mean, it works.
Now look how much you're moving.
Yeah, she never like. I think she signed me up to play soccer so that like she didn't like, so that she'd have like me gone for like 2 hours, you know, at practice, and like
that's how sports
maybe that's what it is about soccer.
We're in the same boat, yo. I played soccer every day.
See, like you're trying to do stuff with her, like our parents didn't want to do things with us. We're like, just go. So I don't know. Yeah, I feel like that age is so hard. Like if I don't know. Do you have any ideas? I mean, actually, I feel like if she's like interested in boys, like that's a really good way to get
something going
to go somewhere. Like, you know, if there's a bunch of boys at the gym, like she might want to go there.
Yeah. Or girls.
Then you have or girls, and then you have a different problem.
Well,
so which problem do you want?
I know. Well, so like the one time that I did motivate her to like, oh, okay, I am interested is because she's like really into acting right now. Like she's actually like she's got many roles in the upcoming play at her high school. And, you know, I'm like, hey, Captain Marvel didn't like show up like jacked, right? Like she had to like put in work. And so she's like, oh, okay. So that worked for like a couple weeks, but then it was like, man, this is kind of lame. Like everything, you know? Yeah. So yeah, definitely finding the interest is going to be very important for us.
Yeah. I mean, at least she has a hobby too. Like she's not just like sitting at home and like not wanting to do anything. But yeah, I mean, that's a really good one. Like, depending on what like parts she's getting, like maybe she can like start getting into that role. And that's how, I mean, I think that's how actors do it. They kind of, so. Yeah.
What's up, Power Project family? It's time to stop dressing like you're a fucking preschooler and step your game up by checking out Viore clothing. Now, I'm not one to talk. I wear a fucking pink hat that has a dog on it, but at the end of the day, at least my shirt and shorts are popping. So head to Viore because they have great stuff for your top and your bottom. Andrew, how can they get it?
Yes, you guys got to head over to viore.com/power project. That's VUORI.com/power project, and you guys will automatically receive 20% off your order. Links to them down in the description as well as the podcast show notes. Let's get back to the podcast.
I got a question, shifting some gears. Tiff, how do you get strong? How does somebody listening, how do they get strong?
I feel like you have to be really consistent with the really boring stuff is, I think, how you get strong.
It's all genetics, though, Tiff. You can't get strong.
I don't have good genetics. Like,
you're huge.
no, I think it's a lot.
Of course, you can move tons of weight. Look how big you are.
The camera just makes her look smaller. That's all.
Yeah. No, I think consistency. That and like eating. I feel like the more that I've started eating more, like I've gotten a lot stronger. Like. Not as, like, I don't have as much aches and pains and stuff. So, but I think consistency is really, like, the key.
What about you? What do you think people need to do to get stronger? Or what are people maybe even almost doing wrong? Sometimes.
I mean, for me, even though something I'm still working on, just like the really most basic stuff, just like eat and sleep enough, you know, like those like two things, like nail those down. Like sleep is like so hard.
How long you been lifting, Jeremy? How many years?
So you know, like you know, I've been playing sports, moving around, but like you know, like powerlifting probably started when I was like 22.
Okay.
How old are you now?
35.
You're 35?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
35.
You look good, man.
Thank you. Appreciate that. So
mustache is great, by the way.
Yeah, you know, little inspiration. I see you running around.
It's a real
mustache.
thing.
Yeah.
3 of us have mustaches.
Yeah, all 3.
Just
Dang,
3.
all right,
just 3. Okay. Just the 3, you guys.
Yeah, we'll get you next time. So. But yeah, I mean, just like Tiff said, I mean, I don't think there's anything like tricky or fancy to it. It's just like, I mean, find a gym that you enjoy going to. Find a good group of people that you enjoy working out with if you can. I mean, obviously, if you just got to work out at home, then that's fine. But, and then, you know, maybe hire a coach and get some type of direction. Right? So have like, you know, learn some type of program. You know, I did a lot of different programs when I first started, like, you know, 5-3-1. I think I did Brandon Lilly's cube method, an old, you know, like conjugate variation. You know, I did a small law, you know, I tried a ton of different stuff. So I just, you know.
Play that again. Hey. You did a single leg
I can do that too, guys.
That's dope.
Wham.
Yo. So actually, you know, okay, your strength has been maintained. Like both of you guys are really fucking strong, but both of you guys have really good like movement ability too, along with being fucking strong. So over the years of powerlifting, what have you done to, I guess, maintain athleticism? Like Mark mentioned that earlier. You can still jump out of the fucking room, and you move really fucking well. And you too, Tiff. But like you're doing Olympic lifting and powerlifting. So.
I mean, I think it's just like, I don't know. We go on some of these, like, every once in a while we'll go and do this shit. But it's like, I think it just it keeps it like fun. So there's nothing that I put into my program like, oh, I'm going to do box jumps today. But like, it just keeps things like looser and like not so rigid. Cause like powerlifting's boring. Like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure all of us, like, there's something wrong with us that we like to do the same thing every single time. But like throwing this stuff in there just makes it more fun. And I think like, there's never really programmed.
Springy.
Yeah, damn.
I think this was like around the same time we were both doing the same videos because we were just trying to get everyone at the gym to do these like stupid stuff with us.
But this stuff is super smart. Like, jumping is something that not some people can probably remember that they haven't jumped in weeks or months, right? If you don't jump rope or do anything jumping like what you guys are doing, probably haven't jumped in a while.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Well, even to our detriment sometimes, like, you know, like this thing, like being able to like sprint and jump is something I always want to be able to do. I'm not saying like I'd be able to all out sprint, you know, but like I want to be able to like do those two things like pretty well forever.
I think especially because we work with kids, it's like I don't want her to jump higher than me. Like I have to keep something where I can run faster than her. Like, you know, I think I fell on my face on that one.
Oh,
but
you gotta see this.
we got pretty high.
Damn.
Oh shit!
Oh, that's cool.
I fell in
If
the
you guys are listening,
but there were other ones that I did better than that.
I don't think I could do that though. Like that's really cool.
Just got to work on the dismount, whatever. Otherwise, that was great.
Give her a little parachute. You gotta give her a little parachute for the way down.
I love like the kill shot. She just like kind of like rolls and like, am I knocked out? What happened?
I mean, yeah.
Tiff, like,
I think I won that one, so it was fine.
how long were you powerlifting before you started Olympic lifting? And did you notice? Well, you were doing conjugate, but did anything about focusing on powerlifting take away from any of your athleticism?
I think I was doing powerlifting at least like 7 years before I did weightlifting.
Yeah.
I actually think I got stronger. I mean, I think I got faster and like could jump higher because I just had more like muscles.
Yeah.
You know, so like that's one thing I wish I would have like lifted earlier, like when I was in high school or even like middle school, like just I would have been faster and stronger. And I mean, obviously I'm not very tall, so like holding off other girls and stuff playing soccer, like it would have been,
Makes
I
a
would have been a lot
difference.
better.
Yeah.
And kick the ball further. And I think I would have had like more body control to control the ball better. So I think also because I do all that other stuff that's not really on the program.
Yeah.
I think that's why I didn't like lose a lot of the athleticism that I had before.
That's good.
But
Olympic lifting seems like it might be kind of frustrating.
it
'Cause
is so frustrating.
Yeah, it seems like annoying. Like it seems like you feel like you would have the strength, but you can't perform the technique.
Yes.
Which kind of means that you don't have the strength necessarily, but you keep
I don't have the mental strength.
Yeah, well, you miss it and you get really like upset, right? Like so,
Yeah.
it's much different than a powerlifting workout, right?
Yeah, because I mean, there's days where like you do weightlifting, you're like, I don't even know what I did, but I PR'd, and then like, and then maybe that's just like me, but like,
No, I
and
think
then,
that sounds pretty common. I believe.
and
yeah.
then like days you feel really good, and you're like, I keep missing it off. Like you start the lift off like an inch off, and you can't get the bar where you want it, and so it was really frustrating. But then I feel like it's so much more rewarding when you get it right, and you're like, oh, that felt so easy. Like if I could just do that again, like I'd be so much better. But I feel like it's way more rewarding, but it's just so frustrating to like, and then like I'm trying to do both. And so it's like, okay, I need to stop doing this so I can do this. And when I was doing SuperTotal, like just all these different body parts.
What's a SuperTotal?
SuperTotal is powerlifting and weightlifting in the same meet, or like, I mean, at the Arnold, it wasn't like an official SuperTotal, but like I competed. I did weightlifting on like Thursday, and then I competed powerlifting on Saturday. So close enough, but yeah, just different things hurt all the time when you do both. So I had to like pull back on one to the other.
In Olympic lifting, it seems like it's.
I made it.
Oh, damn.
That didn't take me that long either. It was like 5 minutes.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
In Olympic lifting, it seems like it's maybe part of the training, like to miss lifts, like it's sort of, it's more accepted, right? Like in powerlifting, we really don't miss reps in training. And if we do, we kind of scratch our head and we kind of recalculate and say, all right, well, we're not on track the way that we thought we were. Like it's a big deal if you miss reps in powerlifting. What do you think the difference there is? Like, why is that?
I mean, I think like, cause I feel like powerlifting, like there's not that much in the tech. I mean, there is technique, but it's like when you miss, I feel like it's usually like more of a strength thing or like a focus thing, or like,
you're just like moving the bar around, where in Olympic lifting, you move the bar and your body, right?
Yeah. And I feel like it's just so much like, I feel like you could start off like I was saying, like an inch off, but then on the next one, like you could just kind of change that just a tiny bit and you'll make it. Where I feel like a lot of powerlifting missing is like, it's like, I fucked something up. Like it's not like, oh, I'm just off by a little bit. And then with powerlifting too, it's like, I feel like it takes so much more out of you too when you do lift on those, where like weightlifting, you're not like grinding it out with a lot of like power lifts. Like when you're trying to grind out the squat for like a minute and you're like, oh, I missed that. Like I can't go back and do that. Like I'm dead now. Where like weightlifting is like, you just throw the bar and you're like, okay, I could just like get myself focused more and like do it right. So yeah.
Yeah, if you miss like a heavy squat, you're not gonna be like, all right, I just gotta like, you're not gonna like make a jump. Because in weightlifting, they'll like miss 90%, like just throw like 5 more % on. We're gonna go up and I'll get it. It's like that's not really usually the good move in powerlifting.
Do you guys both mess around with some like bodybuilding stuff as well? Is it part of your regimen?
I don't.
I was when I was doing the diet for with Kenny. I was just because like when my back was kind of fucked up when I was coming back. I just kind of was doing just bodybuilding stuff. But I've kind of like dabbled like with like some of those like sets and rep schemes like over the years for a while. And yeah, I mean I enjoy the workouts. They're a lot of fun. I don't feel like the same anxiety sometimes I do for like a heavy lift, but like a different type of mental. Like pushing through some of those reps and sets and keeping a good pace and staying focused and not like lollygagging too long. So it's just a little bit different, but it's nice. I find it really like a lot more relaxing, honestly, sometimes than like a powerlifting workout.
Yeah, that's how I feel with weightlifting. Like I feel more relaxed when I do weightlifting just because I don't have as much pressure to like. I feel like I've been doing powerlifting for so long that like I have to hit like certain numbers or like I feel like I should be like this strong. But with weightlifting, I'm like, yeah, I mean, this is more fun. Like there's nothing that I'm like, oh, I should be able to do this.
So it kind of sounds like neither one of you guys are really, I mean, everyone always has, I guess aesthetics like in mind to some extent, but it seems like both you guys are training more for performance. And it seems like the amount of food that you're consuming, it seems like you're not in like a deficit. So it sounds to me like a lot, like from what I see from a lot of people is people are in a caloric deficit quite a bit, and then they struggle with consistency of the diet even because they're trying to be in a caloric deficit. But they really start to struggle with their performance in the gym, and it sounds like you guys are more concerned about like being able to put really good efforts in the gym.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like
you both look amazing.
Thank you.
And I think that's a really interesting thing because there's people that are so concerned and so worried about it, but they're they're not eating enough to really fuel some of the exercising that they're doing.
Yeah, I feel like when I started working with Kenny and like eating so much more, I was like, at first I was kind of scared because I'm like, he wants me to eat like 5 meals and they're like 500 calories each. I'm like, I don't know. I think this is wrong. And I had to talk to him a few times, but like, I just feel way better. Like, and I mean, I feel like every girl is like, I mean, you don't want to like get too big or whatever, like, but I mean, as long as like I feel comfortable in my clothes, like I'd rather be strong and like keep hitting PRs than not. Like, I feel like you do get a lot more injuries when you're like really lean all the time. And I've been competing for 10 years and I haven't missed weight like once. And like, I think I've gotten, like, I know my body well enough now. Like, I know where I need to be for, like, if I'm going to cut to 97 or if I'm cutting and, like, if I have a 24-hour weigh-in or a 2-hour weigh-in. Like, I think for how long I've been doing this, like, I know kind of, like, okay, I need to, like, stay at this weight or else I'm going to drop too much. And so, yeah, I feel like, I don't know. Eating's been a lot more fun since I don't think I've ever really, like, been like at a caloric deficit except for when I'm like leaning up to a meet. And like I think that's kind of the way to go. I don't think I could do it any other way, really, because then I feel like when I don't eat enough, I'm not very nice.
Well, has there ever been a point where you guys felt like you were out of shape? When I say out of shape, I mean just like out of shape. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, yeah, definitely like coming, this back injury I had like earlier, like in like the fall.
Yeah,
man, it had me down. Like, it was hard to get like 5,000 steps in a day or even a few thousand,
Really?
Like, so it was like,
what exactly happened
great.
to your back?
Just had like, really bad sciatic pain down my foot. Just like super bad. I've had like 2 or 3 years ago, I had it kind of flare up pretty good. And then I just had it get me real good for like a couple months. Like it just was not sleeping very well and just like had like the numbness down my foot, just like a lot of that stuff, and just like tough time sleeping and walking and sitting and standing
and laying anything for too long.
But yeah, like that's like when like just like trying to get my steps together. That's why I wanted to get the Oura Ring, like just like those little things. And that's when I called Kenny as well, because I was like, I can't really move much. I want to get everything else just dialed in as I can. So I want to like get a good diet going and stuff and kind of monitor it a little bit. And yeah, all that stuff kind of helped a little bit. But yeah, when I felt really out of shape, I just had to give myself like small wins. Like, dude, like walk 10,000 steps today. Like, I was like, all right, I did it.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, I got out of the house today.
And then I was like,
that was one of them.
Put your socks on unassisted. It's like, oh, yeah, okay. Okay. Like how I can put my socks on is like a really good indicator to my health.
Old man test. Yeah.
So, but yeah, you know, getting strong again, or like getting back, not even strong, just back in shape, you know, like, because I felt out of shape too, just like kind of, you know, getting out of breath on some certain walks, and like, you know, just not really having the energy through the day that I was used to. Yeah.
Let me ask you this too. Like, what are some things that you guys just like do each day that are just part of your lifestyle? Obviously exercise and you guys eat, but do you guys take walks each day? Well, you're working with kids, but what are the things that you do that you think aids in what you do passively?
I think like Tiff has helped me so much with this, but just like making stuff easy. Like our food is really easily accessible. Like we have all of our bone broth packets, right? You know, there's like everything's like set up, like really organized. So when it like in the mornings, like making breakfast, it's just like hot water, oatmeal, dude, and then this. It's just like everything's like really easy. It's like have, because, you know, I used to not have breakfast a lot in the mornings. Like that was something like, you know, like I just like, we're not a big breakfast, but now I get up like really early. I make breakfast. I bring my food with me for the day. So it's like that ritual of getting up in the morning and like having breakfast, like a good start to the day.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm someone who's like a win more. Like if I like get a win, it's easy for me to get another win. Yeah. But once I feel like it's not perfect, I'm like, oh, fuck it all to hell. You know? You know, so like, you know, so like starting off with a win is really important for me. So like I would say like definitely since like living with Tiff, it's been good. Like, you know, the mornings, like, you know, just kind of like a little bit more organized than I was doing at my place before. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know, and then just like setting a bedtime has been really good.
That's been really
bedtime.
good.
Like so having a bedtime, like trying
Is
to
that
have
something you didn't have before?
No, I was kind of winging it a lot. Like I would just like go to bed kind of whenever I felt like it. A lot of times, you know, or like if I, like just like depending if I had like work stuff.
I think that's really common. I think a lot of people do that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but and like once I like kind of stopped doing that, like really trying to just no matter what get up around the same time, or at least within like an hour or two, and like go to bed around the same time, and like every once in a while, right? Like. But for me, like when I have that structure, like as soon as I lose those two things, like the beginning, like my bedtime or my wake up time is messed up, my whole day gets messed up. My eating's not the same. And it's just a little, So for me, it's just like the bookends. Like I try to start and finish my day well. Like I have all my vitamins. Tiff helps me. Got my little vitamins at night.
Those old people that have like the Sunday crew. Yeah, we got him one of those. And he's been taking his night pills.
Yeah, so I got my nightly routine, you know. Like we might do a little night walk after after we eat, and then we'll, you know, hit our like vitamins and tea, and like just like make sure like, you know, like relax down. And then but yeah, I'd say those
like, what's
things.
That blue pill, Tiff? What's that?
And then look at in between the day, if I can drink my gallon of water, if I can be good with my meal timing, have enough protein, and, you know, all that good stuff. Those are all like extra things. But for me, just like starting and ending my day, like, well.
The bone broth hack that you showed me last time, I think people should understand what the fuck this is and why it helps so much.
It's so
I don't have any with me right now, but it's so it's so easy. I feel like so many people at the gym use it now because we're like, what is that? It smells good. And you're like, just 10 grams of protein. I don't know. Like,
just like, tell us. Just Bear Bones bone broth. I mean, there's like, there's some other folks that are like catching on that stuff as well. But it is easiest 10, 20, 30 grams of protein that you could like possibly get. And it's just all like collagen and protein. It's not necessarily like the complete protein, but if you're eating like meat and other things, you'll be fine. But it is just it's easy money. It's found money on the ground. It's an easy one.
And it tastes so good. I remember you brought it last time I tried it. I'm like, damn, this is really good.
Yep, that's the
so
stuff.
I try to have that at night, like digestion, like morning and night.
Yeah, we first started with we started with those, and it's too expensive because he eats a lot. So then we had to get they have like packets that you can just mix with hot water.
And you said sometimes you just pour it over rice too.
Oh yeah, we'll just get like I'll put like 3 or 4 packets.
Rice,
I'll put like 3 or 4 packets and just pour it in rice with some meat, and it's got like 30 grams of like the collagen protein, then like 6 ounces of the meat or whatever.
Yeah, this shit tastes really good, guys. You need to check it out. It's on Amazon. It's
especially
really good.
Like when it's cold out, like I can. I don't drink them as much as he does, but I can.
It's a powder.
Yeah, and it's got the salt in it too, so it's hydrating. It's got like a few things. It's got the collagen protein. It's got the sodium, and it's just the powder too. It's just boom, boom, hot water.
You take it anywhere. Yeah,
easy.
Yeah, I love bone broth. I usually throw some butter in there.
Yeah,
Oh.
yep.
You throw it in the
Get a
blender,
little
throw
oil
some
in there.
butter in there. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It sounds amazing.
Boner broth.
Yeah.
I thought.
Do you guys take any other supplements like protein shakes and that sort of thing?
Yeah.
I don't do very much.
I got protein, dextrose, but she does
Like
what do
Kenny
you,
wants me to start taking creatine, and I'm like, I don't take anything. No, I just eat all my food, and I like don't add anything.
Creatine's like the chillest, most useful
I
thing.
know. I don't know. I just don't like powder. I just make a mess. So I just eat food.
You know, you can put creatine in coffee. It tastes like nothing.
I don't drink coffee.
Wow, you're really bare bones.
I just
Good for you.
I just wake up like this, guys.
No, that's hey, you're not like us where you need that stimulant every fucking morning.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, she just kind of like she's really steady. Like even when she lifts her heaviest lift, she'll just be over there like walking through the park and like about to do the heaviest lift she's ever done in her life. Like just
Yeah,
just
everyone
fine.
makes fun of me because I listen to one song over and over again. Jeremy loves it when I do this in the car too.
Yeah. What's the song? Damn Straight.
Yeah, I listen to a
It's
country song over and over
it's
again.
Sad. And one time I came into the gym, and like Tiff's been there for a while. So at our gym, like if you've been there the longest, you can use the stereo kind of type of thing.
Yeah.
And I just come in, and there's just like 4 dudes just like doing their workout, and it's just like damn straight. And Tiff's just like over there doing a workout, and they're just like, oh my god,
Same song over
Yeah.
and over.
Yeah.
over and over. She
That's
just does
it.
one song, dude.
You ever killed animals when you were a kid?
No.
Okay.
Actually, one time I had a turtle, and I don't know like when or how it got out of its little crate, little thing. I didn't know. Like this is the only time I killed an animal, and when we moved finally, like 5 years later, we were moving the couch. It was under the couch. The dead turtle was upside down underneath the
How
couch.
big was it?
It was like this big. It wasn't big enough to get out of there, I guess.
Oh, that's not on you. I thought you were gonna say you
Yeah,
like stepped
no.
on it or like crushed it. He escaped on his own, couldn't take care of himself, and died. That's not
Yeah. Okay. See,
That's on
Then-
him,
no, I've
not
never
you.
killed an animal.
It's on
Well,
him.
since
Jeremy's
we're
a
having,
lawyer.
Oh,
You're
right when I got my license, I ran over a squirrel. But that's like, I didn't
It
try
deserved
to.
it.
But yeah, that was the first thing I
Running
did.
around all
That's the first thing
crazy.
I got when I got my license.
Yeah. You know, since we're sharing animal killing stories, when I
Oh,
was
okay.
when I was 12, I got this little mouse for a science project. I think I was in 7th grade or some shit. And one day I brought it out of its little cage and I just threw it up in the air and it squealed. And I was like, oh, maybe it likes that. It's a tiny little white mouse with red eyes. So I threw it again and went, wee, and then I felt so bad. Because when I realized it was dead, I got scared and I threw it because I was like, oh,
And then you killed it even more.
yeah, no, it was dead. It was dead. So
It had a heart attack from all the excitement.
yeah, I thought it was having fun, man. It was really unfortunate.
Stop making noise.
Anybody else kill animals or?
Not like on purpose accident like you.
It really was an accident, dog.
And Nsima's like, who wants a, hey, do you ever kill any animals? So I'll go next.
Yeah, you brought that one up. I didn't bring that one up. So.
That's been weighing on him for years.
Well, hey, she killed an animal that's supposed to live like 50 plus years.
Hey, I mean, I didn't
escaped. He escaped.
slam it on the ground or
That's
anything.
true.
I didn't even open the little crate. So actually,
Hey, no, this is what Nsima did. He was like, wee, and then he wrote down 3. All right, we'll get the next one up, man.
Turtle escaping, though, that's a little suspect. I don't know if I believe the story
Yeah.
about it escaping.
maybe my parents let it escape because they didn't like it.
Yeah, turtles kind of
So-
smell. They have a smell. My stepdad's turtle, he escaped,
See, it escapes. See,
yeah,
they
and
escape.
dude, it's fast.
These guys
We
are
had him in the
nifty.
backyard.
They're
and
fast?
They're fast. Once you let them out, boom, gone.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, he's gone like in just about a
I don't know
minute.
if I believe this story.
No,
but
it's true. He cried.
I
Yeah, my
can
stepdad was really
confirm it
upset.
though.
The turtle cried?
No, my stepdad did.
Oh, man.
I was like, Jelly! I don't know where he is, dude. He's
Name
gone.
was Jelly.
Yeah, it was. Hey, this guy just got
He just turned around, just looked at you guys and sped off.
Yeah, he's fine though. Like a month later, he got a turtle and literally named it Jelly 2.
There we go. Jelly 2?
Yeah, Jelly 2.
Oh, okay.
Weird.
My neighbor kids growing up, they had like a big turtle, like a big,
How big?
pretty
Can't see your
fucking
hand.
big,
A tortoise.
A tortoise.
Yeah, tortoise. There you go.
Okay, there we go.
One day, one of our huskies was eating out of a bowl. I was like, "Damn, where is she eating? Like, what bowl is that?" It wasn't a bowl. she was gnawing down on the turtle, and the turtle just, on its back. And the couple days later, one of the neighbor kids came over knocking on the door. It was like, hey, our turtle got out. Have you guys seen it? What? No way. That's crazy.
So bull.
No, I haven't seen the turtle. We'll let you know.
How'd you dispose?
My dad threw it away. Like, I'm not touching that
Put it
thing.
in his trunk.
There's a lot of coyotes, though. A lot of coyotes around here, though. Really a lot. Really a lot.
Yeah. Turtles be trying to escape.
Yeah, they want to get out. They're trying to get to the water.
Turtles be around there?
Yeah, that's probably,
They mess around and find out.
Yeah, well, so far, totals are 0 for 2 on their own. As far as totals are. 0 for 3. 0 for 3. Yeah. Over 3. Wow. Over 3.
Guys, curious.
turtles.
Biggest lessons from Jesse Burdick?
Jesse, when I first started going there, I wouldn't really talk. So the biggest lesson from Jesse was to like use my words, because I would used to like, because like he would be working out with all the guys and like maybe I need a spot, but I like don't want to like at the wrong time. So I'd be like, and I'm not very tall, so then I'd stand on stuff and hope that he would like look at me, and I'd be like, Jesse. And he no one hears me because there's music. And then he'd be like, are you like making bird noises over there? I'm like, yeah, I thought that would help to get your attention. And so, biggest lesson, use my words. It's a good one.
No, that helps a lot, especially guys. Helps me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Talk more. What about you?
Yeah, shoot. I mean, biggest lesson I've learned from Jesse, or one of the things I've like learned from Jesse, I would say, is just he has a really good ability. Like I think everyone in the gym feels like they have a special relationship with him.
Yeah.
You know, in their own way.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you ask me, I'm like, I'm Jesse's favorite. If you ask someone else, I'm actually Jesse's favorite.
I'm actually Jesse's
it's like,
favorite.
I'm actually Jesse, so he does
gaslights everybody.
Yeah, he's good at gaslighting everybody. Damn it. God damn it, he's so good. But he's just really good. I think he's just, he really, I don't know, he takes the time to really get to know his clients beyond just like a numbers and like a this. And I think he understands that there's more, even just on a very small level, we talked about with kids, you got to make it fun. Mm-hmm. Those kids grow to be adults, and in some level, there needs to be some element of that. They have to enjoy being there in some level, so like, yeah, just like making it fun. Jesse has the saying, lift hard, laugh harder, like making it fun, making it enjoyable for people to be there, and like taking the time to like get to know like your members and like the people around you that you train with, and to be of service to like, just like, not just the gym, keep me clean, but you guys have the rule here, like no headphones on. I love that rule because it's like people need help and like people, need a
interact
spot
with each other.
And some days I get it, put your headphones on, do your thing. But for like the most part, we're there to, I guess the thing I learned from Jesse most is that it's not just about you in the gym, not all about you, and to be of service. Yeah. I'd say those are good.
Power Project family, quality sleep can make everything with your health and fitness easier, which is why we've partnered with Hostage Tape. Now, we've been talking about mouth tape for years and nasal breathing for years. But one of the problems that we've had with tape is we all like to rock facial hair, and a lot of the mouth tapes we would use would fall off of our face at night. Hostage Tape doesn't fall off your face if you have a beard or if you're not a man and you don't. I'm joking. You don't need a beard, right? But either way, Hostage Tape makes sense. It'll stick to your face when you're asleep. You'll have better quality sleep because you're breathing through your nose all night long. It is a no-brainer. And if you head to hostagetape.com/Power Project, you'll be able to get the Power Project annual deal, which is a year's supply of Hostage Tape for 55 cents a day. You'll be saving $150 on the typical yearly deal. You're going to get 2 free tins and a blindfold. It's a no-brainer. So head there right now and get yourself some Hostage Tape. Links in the description along with the podcast show notes. Shut your fucking mouth when you sleep. Enjoy the show.
Tiff, you set some like records and shit over there. So like, what are some of your goals now?
My goal, I'm competing in May, and I'm trying to get the records with like just sleeves because I had them in wraps. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I feel like lifting wise, like I don't have like huge goals. I'm like trying to get better. Like just trying to get like PR totals. Like I think for a while it was like very like I want to hit like squat or PR deadlift, but like I think the longer I'm in it, I'm like, the total is like the coolest thing to keep like increasing, because if you increase the total, it's like you're increasing something else. So I feel like that I don't really have like a huge lifting goal at this point right now. I mean, for weightlifting, I'm trying to qualify for AO finals and then try to see if I can get better at that.
What's AO? Is it a federation?
It's like American Open finals. Okay. So, but I don't have like, I don't know. I wish I had better goals right now for it, but I think
do you usually set goals? Have you set goals to get world records?
Oh, I feel like I just kind of like fell into those and it just kind of happened. But yeah, usually
how did it just happen? You started lifting and then you could squat pretty good and someone's like, you should do a powerlifting meet, or was there more complicated than that?
I think like the first time I set a world record, I like looked at it and I was like, I think I could do that. And then I think Zach was my coach at the time. I'm like, do you think I could do this? And he was like, yeah. And so that's kind of how that happened. I don't know. I feel like there wasn't as much thought into it that I think a lot of people now have into like setting their goals or breaking records. I don't know.
How much lifting was under your belt at that time? Do you know?
I think I had been lifting for like maybe 2 or 3 years.
Okay. Yeah. So there was time spent under the barbell.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. So that first year that I competed, like I think I did like 8 meets because it was like our coach was paying for our travel and our meet and like paying us for food. And we were like, okay, like let's just keep doing this. I don't know. But like I had no clue what I was doing the first meet. They're like, you need a belt. And I'm like, okay, do you have one for me? And like it was way too big. Like no one else was this small. And then like I didn't have a singlet. And I don't know. It's cool because like when I started lifting like 10 years ago, like I feel like there were maybe like 30, 40 people at the meet. There was like 2 or 3 girls. And like it wasn't this huge thing on like Instagram. And like I didn't feel a lot of pressure to like do anything. Like where now I feel like people are like, I can't compete. Like I'm not strong enough. And you're like, I don't know. I think I benched like the bar on my first meet. Like I don't. And like it wasn't like something I was like, oh wow, I suck. I was just like, cool. I just did this. Can we go eat? Like, I don't know. I feel like there's so much pressure now to like do different things. And like, I wish that people that were starting out could see it like how I saw it when I started. It was like, cool, let's just do this thing with our friends and like, let's go eat after.
Do you remember some of those numbers from the first competition? Ish?
I think I maybe squatted like 135. I think I deadlifted maybe like 135 or 165. I don't know. It wasn't. I don't think I was like very into the numbers then. Like I was just like, yeah, whatever you think I should do. Like so
I think there's something valuable there. It's valuable to be a little like nonchalant about it, you know, and just go out and do like I trained and I'm going to see what the results of my training are. I mean, it's how it starts for anybody doing a jiu-jitsu tournament when someone first gets in. Yeah. It's got to be it can be kind of scary, I would imagine, but it also could be like, well, I've been training a couple months or I've been training a year. I'm just going to try it. Same thing with, I'm doing a marathon coming up. Like I'm just going to, I don't know what's going to happen. I've never run that far before. Well, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Your first marathon's the Boston.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Full marathon at least.
Yeah. But I wish people now had that same experience of like, I'm just going to go and like do whatever I've done. Like I don't, like have not so much pressure. I feel like that's like the downfall of social media for me is like seeing everyone put so much pressure on themselves to do certain things where it's like just do whatever you can. Like yeah, like there's people that can do it better, but like the only way to get better is like you got to do it first and then kind of get into it a little bit more. But yeah,
and it also doesn't have to be something where like it's interesting because you know if you do a competition, usually like you want to do really, really well, but the competition experience in and of itself is pretty cool to get yourself prepared for.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I could say the first one. Like I just like, I don't even know how long I was lifting for that first meet. I don't know. I don't think it was very long. I was basically told like, I either can't be on the team or I have to compete. And I was like, all right, here I am. Like, so, but yeah.
What about for you, Jeremy? Did you set goals and stuff like that? Like when you were I know you haven't competed in a little bit, but you're wanting to get back. Do you set goals like that too, or are you? I mean, are you nonchalant, kind of like her, or do you like set them specifically, kind of?
No, I'd set some specific goals. I think when I first got into it, though, I didn't really have any specific goals. I wasn't even like aware of like numbers. I just, was I'd been training the powerlifting style for like a couple of years, and then, one of my friends, like that I was training with, like encouraged me to do a meet, and then I did the meet, and actually this I still remember this guy's name. His name was Robbie, who used to be at CSA, who's married. Like,
oh yeah.
But I was competing against him in the 198, and he was like helping me in the back, and like, you do this, do that. And I was like, oh shoot, cool. This like my competitor, but he's like helping me kind of come along. And then I think I deadlifted like 650 that day. It was like my first meet, and he was like, hey, like 55 more pounds, and like that's the state record. You should try for that. And I was like, oh, there's like records, and I was like, so I started like looking them up and stuff, and at the time, Jesse Norris was like the guy at 98, and it's still the guy. Dude, that guy's awesome. But his deadlift was 826 then, and then like, I was like, wow, that is really far out there. Holy wow! And I think his the bench was around like 420 at 198 he had, and then his squat was still pretty. He had like a 760 squat, I think, or something like that. But I was like, okay, deadlift maybe. Those other ones are like pretty crazy. I was like, at the time I had like a 290 bench, first one, and 500-pound squat. So I was like, those seem pretty far away.
Yeah.
Maybe if I like slow. So I remember thinking like really far out. I'd love to be able to give that one like a crack. Then obviously you're aiming for a moving target, but that was in the beginning. That was like something that really encouraged me to like, move. And then I would like write up my numbers on the chalkboard of where I worked at. I would like write up like next meet goal numbers, or like just like, in general. I remember looking up like the California state total and like wanting to try to beat those things. But I don't know, lately I still have some like pretty granular like numbers I really want to hit. But in general, like what Tiff was saying, I just want to, I still believe I have the ability to improve, and I still enjoy training. So, even with all the fucking bullshit and all the injuries and, struggling to get back, I still like enjoy the process and the people and community, and like, and ultimately then lifting, of course. I just, I freaking love powerlifting still. So
yeah, you did an 898 deadlift or something like that, right?
Yeah, 893 is the best one so far. Yep. And that was like in like 2019 now, I think. Yeah. And then so
and best squat, you did an 804 squat.
Yeah,
that's reps, what always impressed me the most, because I knew about your deadlift. I remember seeing many times you doing these explosive deadlifts, and I'm always like, fuck, man, this guy's so incredible on the deadlift. And then I don't know if it's like I wasn't paying attention, or I don't know what happened, but I remember in a meet where you hit like an 804 squat, and I was like, where the fuck did that come? I mean, you were that strong the whole time, but I just, because your deadlift was so good, I wasn't paying attention to the squat. I was sleeping on it.
Yeah, that's in the squat's been like that's been the toughest one too. That's where I've had a lot of like, a lot of pain and a lot of like, trouble with. But I was pretty proud of that 804. I was in wraps and all that kind of good stuff. So that's my best in wraps, and then best in sleeves is like 720 around there. So yeah, I mean, those numbers, like I was like, as far as squat, like that was a big one for me. I was like pretty stoked about that. And then deadlift, I gotta get 900, and then I can, obviously go fuck off somewhere and fucking, and like, I don't know, do whatever after that. But damn, dude, yeah, I gotta keep putting my foot forward to go for that one. And I'd still love to get a 2,000-pound total in sleeves. I got 2120 or something like that, and wraps back when wraps was what everyone wanted to compete in. But everyone sleeves is the thing now, and even back then that was always a goal of mine. I really wanted to get 2,000 in sleeves, and 90-pound deadlift, and lots of people have done that by now. And we got people in like the 2-3 weight classes lower.
They got these special bars.
Yeah, they got these. Now. Yeah, they got these special bars and special sleeves. Oh my goodness!
You only need to be able to lift about 300 pounds, and it turns into 900 pounds with the sleeves and the new bars.
Yeah, sleeves and the bar, man. That's easily 200 kilos just added instantly. These goddamn kids are cheating. And TikTok adds 20 kilos to your total too. I think maybe.
What do you guys think of some of the powerlifters that have come along? I mean, there's people that you mentioned, Jesse Norris. There's a bunch of people that have surpassed those numbers now, and it just fucking keeps going crazy. Yeah,
it's crazy. Yeah. I mean, some of the girls that are in my weight class, like they're young, they're fucking strong. I'm like, I don't know what you guys are doing, but I'm just gonna keep my slow game here. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think they probably have a better foundation than like me going in the gym. Like, I don't know, maybe I'll bench like this. Like, so I mean, I think there's so much more information out there now that like I wish I would have started when I was younger. I think I started when I was like 21, and like these girls are 21 and they're just like okay, you're squatting 350. That's great. Okay, I'm just gonna keep squatting over here.
You compete in a drug-tested federation, and you also compete sometimes in a non-drug-tested. Do you care what other people do, or you just focus on your own numbers?
I don't really care. I mean, like I see what they're doing, but also I feel like I go into the meets like I just want to get like my PRs. Like I don't know. I feel like a lot of people do. Like there's just different ways to look at it, and I think at this point for me, I'm just like I just want to like get out of the meet with a PR and like I'm healthy. Like like I don't know. For how long I've been on it, like I know, like I'm not making money off powerlifting. I'm making money off like you know, I can move my body. Like I can show people how to do stuff. Like I'm not gonna make anything off powerlifting.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just fun. It's fun to compete. It's fun to like see PRs. It's fun to meet people. But at the same time, I know realistically, I'm not like I'm gonna kill my body for what, like, you know. So yeah.
It's also cool because it's one of those sports that, you know, you can continue competing for a long time. Like we see some badass 50, 60-year-old lifters. They're still pushing some pretty good numbers.
I want to be that. Like, so.
Cool.
Yeah.
Got anything else over there, Andrew?
Yeah. Let me find it.
And by the way, at this point, your records, are they like still standing or are some...
the world records, the all-time world records for a 97-pound weight class. Yeah.
Is there anyone that's like getting close to those right now or...
I'm not sure. Like, I don't really know. I don't know how to find that out. Like,
okay.
But I mean, like, yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
But if there is, like, I don't know. I guess I'll try a little harder.
She doesn't know how awesome she is, huh?
No, she's pretty. She's pretty reserved. Yeah, she does not.
She's like, I don't know. I just have a couple of world records.
I know.
You know, people like use that as a talking point. Like when like I meet people and I'm like, I don't know. That's not like. That's just not where I would start. Like, hey, like I have some world records, and then here's the rest of my life.
Right. Yeah, it's a byproduct of like what you do, and it's not necessarily who you are.
Yeah.
But it does represent something of who you are because it represents a body of work and consistency and what you enjoy doing.
Mm-hmm. So you guys had mentioned lessons from Jesse Burdick. I'm just curious what. I don't know if he talked to you guys about anything when you guys had posted this picture.
Whoa.
Oh my God.
Because I mean, I don't know what you guys, you know, how you feel about Jesse, but when I'm like looking at him and you guys, I'm like, oh, these are like his kids almost. And then now all of a sudden they come out and say like, your quote it's so pretty. It's a beautiful when your best friend turns into your boyfriend. So like, I don't know if he like.
Do you want to tell him? Do you want to tell him how you told Jesse?
Oh no, you got it.
This is interesting.
I think. Well, we were like, oh, we got to tell him, and then I think I was like, Jared, you have to tell him. And so Jared told him and then got in his car and left before Jesse could say anything. I think is how that went.
Yeah, I was just like, oh yeah, me and Tiff are dating. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Oh yeah, we're dating now, so it's all good, dude. I'll see you.
That's funny.
That was the build-up. And then he just kind of laughed. He's like, I don't remember what he said. I don't think he had much to say about it.
Yeah. Like his girls were even funny about it. They're like, we knew it.
They're like, we could have called this like when we were like 5. I'm like, okay, girls, like whatever.
All right.
Was there a lot of chemistry before a lot of this, or were you guys just friends?
No,
before?
I mean, we were friends. You know, we like really did like train and like like kept it like that way. You know,
Okay.
So we were just training partners and like really best friends.
There was no hanky panky going on.
There was not. There was none of that.
Nothing like that.
No nonsense.
No hanky panky.
There was none of that.
No, we were just.
But no, we were really just friends and like
We were just tight, just like really, just like best. Yeah, just like we trained with Jesse. It's funny, like when I got to the gym, I thought she'd been with Jesse for years, so I was like, man, I better be like cool to her a little bit.
But it's like, I thought the same thing.
Yeah, but we just got there at the same time, so I was just like, all right, they seem to like know each other, but like, I didn't realize that.
That's awesome.
Cute.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's how it went down pretty much. But yeah.
Like nothing went down for like 8 or 9 years. Yeah.
Damn, so you guys knew each other 8 or 9 years and then started dating.
Yeah, we knew each other for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, because probably about 8 years or so.
What kind of led to that? Because you were around each other forever, and then just like ask her on a date or something.
No.
Yeah. Shoot, I mean, dang.
We DoorDash food a lot, and like this is
Bob's
like,
Donuts. Bob's Donuts.
He took me on a drive while I fell asleep in the car.
So you drugged her.
with donuts. And she consented to the donuts.
Wow, these are
She's
really
like,
good.
I want donuts. And then like we would go get the donuts and she would just
Yeah, I would just sleep the whole
Cosby
time.
knew.
And they'd be like, we're here. I'm like, okay. And then I'd go back to sleep after we yeah, I don't know. I feel like we both were like in relationships for most of the time. And then it just, I don't know.
Yeah, we're just just timing, I guess. We're just just kind of clicked a little bit. We were like hanging out a bunch together, and and then for me, I was just like kind of realized I wanted more than friendship, and I think I was So I was trying to figure out how to like, because it's kind of, hey, you just met a girl and you got another. It's like, hey, want to go on a date? No, all right, I'll fuck off. But it's like
easier.
your best friend. It's like, hey, want to go out? No, all right, see you tomorrow, forever. So damn. So it's like, I'm like, fuck, man, how do I do this shit? You know what I mean? Like, because we're both got to stay here.
Gross. Right? So that's the reaction you get.
Just like, ugh. Which honestly, I wasn't sure for a second. Shit. Oh man, you heard her. She doesn't talk a lot. She's making bird noises most of the
I
time.
do not
So
look at you like that. Wait, what way do you think I was looking at you?
Yeah, that could have gotten really bad. That could have gotten really fucking bad.
thank God. Worked out. The donuts are really good at Bob's.
Yeah.
It was a good start.
Shout out to Bob's.
Shout out to Bob's Donuts, dude. Polk Street, not the other one.
Not the other one.
No, that one sucks.
All right, Andrew, take us on out of here, buddy.
Sure thing. Thank you, everybody, for checking out today's episode. Please drop those comments down below. Hit the like button and subscribe if you guys are not subscribed already. Follow the podcast at MB Power Project all over the place. My Instagram is at I am Andrew Z. And Simo, where you at?
Discord's below.
Oh,
Sandals restocked.
nice.
So check those out at the website.
Oh, you have those.
Sandals are restocked.
How big do they go up to right now?
14.
14. Okay.
How small do they go to?
I don't know. Child sizes.
Yeah.
I don't know about child sizes. Just they'll see on the website. Yeah. Discord's down below at Nsima Inyang on Instagram and YouTube, at Nsima Inyang on TikTok and Twitter. Tiff and Jeremy, where can people find y'all?
Jeremy and Avilla on Instagram. That's it.
Tiny Tiff 97 on Instagram.
Were you born in 97?
No,
Weight class.
that was a weight class I was in, and now people just think I'm really young, and I just leave it.
You'd be super young. Yeah, okay.
Look at you just getting away. All right.
I'm at Mark Smelly Bell. Strength is never a weakness. Weakness is never strength. Catch you guys later. Bye.